Find a difference, Vlad. Find a difference. There's. Okay. Here at MWC 2018, LG is getting into the S model game for new phones, which means doing a small iterative change to a device we've already seen. So this right here is the LG V30, and this is the LG V30S. If you're not able to spot a difference other than the slightly different silver color, that's because there isn't any. These phones are, in terms of hardware, identical. What we've seen LG do in reality is issue a software update in the form of a hardware launch with this LG V30S. Technically, the company is also calling the device the LG V30S ThinQ, but I think that's such a terrible name, I'm just not going to repeat it anymore. But what does the LG V30S give us above and beyond the V30? Well, one thing, okay, fair enough to LG, there's more RAM. So it goes from 4 gigs to 6 gigs. You get more storage. So the options are 64 gigs upgraded to 128, 128 is upgraded to 256. Besides that, LG is also giving you a new function called AI Cam. This is done in partnership with IM, and they have taken 100 million photos, put them into a machine learning system, and trained that so that the AI Cam functionality can detect your scene basically and just set a better color profile, color bracketing they call it, and make sure that the settings match the scene that you're taking a photo of. One example that LG gave is it makes food look more delicious. I don't know what exactly that entails, but that's how LG describes it. I think primarily what it's going to do is make things look a bit more vivid, maybe amp up contrast a little bit, and it might also help with white balance detection and exposure detection and things like that. LG is also adding a new function to the camera, which is a bright mode, is what LG is calling it, and that's actually combining pixels. So it combines 4 pixels into one. So when you're in really low light situations, you take a 4 megapixel photo, which is much brighter than the usual 60 megapixel photo. So there the trade-off is you lose resolution, but you gain brightness in extreme low light situations. Now the thing with both of these functions, the AI Cam and the bright mode photo, they're interesting and they might be compelling for a whole bunch of people, but LG has already promised that it's going to be issuing those as a software update for the V30. So in reality, the difference between the V30 and V30S is color. It's the ability to have a bit more RAM, so maybe slightly smoother performance. I haven't noticed it myself in playing around with the new phone compared to the old one. And more storage. You know, one of the things that upset me when I was reviewing the original V30 was actually the quality of the display. I talked to LG, asked them specifically about the display, and the company said that it has not changed at all. So having said that the V30S and V30 are very similar, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a bad phone with V30S. And one of the really great strengths of the V30 is the audio system. So these phones do still have a headphone jack. LG is sticking with a headphone jack. And the V30 produced the best audio that I've heard from any smartphone to date. I would have much preferred to see LG do more. Here you have the Snapdragon 835 processor instead of the 845, which is now available and probably going to be in the new Galaxy S9 and Sony's new flagship and so on. It still has 2 cameras on the back, one is telephoto, one is wide angle. I would have liked to see LG do more to upgrade that, improve the image quality. What LG has opted to do is go the AI route of having automated scene detection, and oh, there's another thing which is called LG's Q Lens, which is supposed to allow you to shop by taking a photo of something, and that does visual shopping connected with Amazon. I tried that with the V30. It offered me iPhone as the auto-detected option. I flipped the phone around, I took a photo of the back of the V30, it started offering me cell phone cases. So that Q Lens functionality, I omitted to mention it because I don't really see it as being particularly functional at the moment. I'm not able to shop for anything with it. As I say, the LG V30 was already a pretty decent phone, and the LG V30S is pretty much a reissue of the same thing. What this does signal though is LG's new strategy. The company's new president for its mobile division. It's rethinking everything, and that's part of the reason why we're not seeing a new G series flagship here at MWC. You could say that the V30S is kind of filling the void of not having a new flagship phone from LG. But it also shows that LG is going to iterate faster. It will have these S models in the future. So its next flagship, which might be coming out in June, that might be succeeded within 6 months, just as the V30 was succeeded by this V30S model. So this is something that I guess we're just going to have to get used to. There's a reissue of the same. Please cut this. This is not going to be in the Bluetooth. As I say, the LG V30 was already a pretty decent phone, and the LG V30